Hello, everybody. Welcome to Geek Speak. Another week. It's Rena and I. Rena, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. My name is Rena Little, and I run a little digital marketing company here in Vancouver.
And you all know me, the OG, Greg McKinnon. I run Original 72 Creative, and we're a full service website, graphic design, and digital marketing firm in Vancouver. Today, we get to talk about how to focus your time between your website and social media. And
Whoop
I think
whoop.
this is a pretty good conversation for the two of us because I'm more web SEO, I guess, or maybe web
Uh,
specifically. You're SEO, but a big focus on social. So
yes.
it should be a pretty good conversation today.
Yeah. So, what we were talking about a little bit earlier is that the original title for this session was kind of a bit combative between social
Yeah.
and website, and which is really website is really SEO, organic SEO. And what we sort of discovered in our prelim is that they're not really mutually exclusive. In fact, one you can and does support the other in many ways, but not always. It really depends on how you're doing social media. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that.
I think it was at the very beginning of social for sure. People
Yeah.
had websites because websites have been around for so long, and you did SEO, and that was always the big focus
Yes.
a long time ago. But as the landscape of social has changed, there is a shift in. I wouldn't say one is more priority than the other, but there's been a shift in how much time and what you can do on social media to bring people to your website or to just be known and
For
stuff like
sure.
that. So I think uh, I think it's going to be good to go over how we typically talk with clients on what they should do with their website and
Yeah.
SEO and what they should do in their social.
Yeah. So just to talk to just to go back a little bit about what you said. So when I started off in social media, it was sort of before we had Facebook fan pages, which was before business pages, and
Mhm.
at that time there was a big split between website and social, and then website and social came together, and then platforms decided that they wanted to keep people on their platform, so they stopped rewarding posts and engagement on posts that sent people outside the platform. So that's kind of like the evolution of the space. And um, and then I forgot what we were going to do again. What did you say? Oh yeah, how it works together. Is that where we were going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the basically, well, how I was referring to it was very much like websites have been around for a lot longer than social. So people had
Yes.
websites, and then when social came along, there was basically social to steer people to your website. But that's not necessarily the case anymore because, like you were just saying, with fan pages, business pages now, and these platforms wanting to keep the engagement on the platform, there's a more of a shift or a balance to having your website and having people at your website, but also having people on your social and engaging with you just directly on your social,
Yeah.
not strictly having social media to send people to your website
That's right.
anymore.
That's right. So there has to be, in my mind, there has to be a balance made, because ultimately you don't want to spend, and this comes down to resources, question of resources. You have a budget for marketing, and you want to be able to allocate the budget appropriately to get the best bang for your buck. And one of the things that is important to Google for your organic SEO, and your so your website is what you want to pay attention to because you own those files. And then the other thing is your email list. So generally speaking, how does social fit into that? Well, social can help you grow your email list, but it can also provide link backs to help with your organic SEO. And so you want to find that nice little spot where your social media is getting that engagement and doing that thing that it's supposed to do on the platform, but also it needs to be able to be in support of your organic SEO, sending traffic back, creating really good quality link backs, and that type of thing. So it can't only be that, because as we know, Google, if you just continually post links back to your website, you're gonna mess with your algorithm. And so the two ways to organize for that is to really sort of pay attention to your algorithm and know how often you can put those link backs on, but also and grow your email list. And then have I lost it? Okay, hang on a second. Oh no, it's terrible when this happens. The rain happens, and this is what happens. Um, okay, so get your links out there, and oh, I forgot. So let's just move on to the next thing. I'm sure it'll come back to me.
Sure. You were talking about links and then also collecting email addresses.
Yeah,
One of the things I was going to sort of push us towards after your what you were saying was maybe specific things that we might have done on our website in the past that we can just do on social now. And whether or not specific businesses need to do things differently between their web or social, or like what can they do completely on social
right.
that we used to do on the website, but now
Yes.
we just do it in social instead of sending people to the site and collecting. Because
Yeah.
can you actually? I mean, you want
Yes.
to collect followers for sure of your
No, we
page.
don't care about followers. That's a vanity metric. So, collecting followers is not really particularly important. I understand where you're going, and there are a couple of really great things that you can do on social. One is setting up messaging directly from social, so that you have a direct connection between your potential your audience member, or potential client, right to you, so that they don't actually have to take that link to go to your website where the contact us page is and then contact you from there. They can just actually directly message you. So there's a really cool button that you can use on many of your posts and your ads that allows you to add a message us button, and then you can get your messenger messages on your phone or on your desktop, however you like to do it. And that's a direct link from social to connect with your audience. So that's one that I recommend. The other thing is lead generation. Facebook has an amazing lead generation page, that you don't really have to know a lot about how to design lead generation pages, because it's got the basics already organized for you. And so instead of having to build which would have been the um, standard practice in the olden days, and still is used actually, so it's not really the olden days, but you would usually set up a landing page, either on your website, or using a third party service like Unbounce,
Hmm.
or one of those things. And then you would send traffic to that space, and then they would fill out that information or do the download or whatever it is that you have set up on your landing page. And now you can actually do it directly in Facebook without having to have anybody leave the platform. So you reduce the clicks. You don't have to worry about your load times, sending people away. You can just collect email addresses or telephone numbers, or that type of thing, right in Facebook, and export those contacts from the back end of Facebook, into your um, into however
Preferred.
you're going to deliver the information. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that can also be done. So that kind of reduces what you need to do on your website.
And I guess it eliminates a step. If it's for collecting email addresses for a mailing list,
Yeah.
it eliminates the step of having to be on the social platform and having them have to go to your site to fill in their information. And a lot of the times, the email, because they're in their account, this stuff can be pre-populated, and it's
Yes.
super easy to give that
Yes.
information over.
That's right.
Uh, yeah.
That's right. So it's called less friction, and that's really a term that you want to get used to. I watched a woman set up her. She had a beautiful landing page on her website, and then she turned it into 2-page steps. So you went to the landing page and you got the information to click another button to go to another page to put your information. And I just don't understand. So you want to actually be reducing the number of steps, not increasing. I don't know why she did that. I don't know who advised her to do that, but it's just, we watched the conversion rate slowly slip away after that happened,
Yeah.
and hopefully she took the advice to change that back.
Okay, so what would you suggest as sort of draws to do things within your social or do things on your website? And is there? Do you find people should jump on trying to do it more in social, or is it more like
Oh,
if you've got the social strategy already, put these things in place?
yeah.
But yeah.
So the strategy for me is definitely grow your list, grow your organic SEO, and do it with less friction, the least amount of friction possible. So it really depends on the platform. So I don't have any sort of catch-all rules that I would do this task on Facebook, on social, and this task on the website. What I look at is, first of all of my advice is bypass the algorithm and buy ads ASAP. And then with that ad budget, figure out what it is that you want to accomplish. Do you want to send them to a landing page on your site, or do you want to collect the email addresses um, from Facebook directly? And maybe you want to test that and see which works best, and see which, compare the quality of leads. Maybe Facebook is so easy that the quality of those leads really are not useful. Maybe having them go to your web page is ideal. Um, Google likes traffic, bursts of traffic back to the site. It likes new traffic. It likes new content. So definitely blogging and then sharing that new content on your social is ideal. I think they're all SEO people will agree that's good, and also social people should be doing that. They shouldn't be. What I find detrimental is when people take the copy and they put it on their website, and then they take the copy and they put it on their social. Really, there should be a link back if you're sharing, and you should just do teaser information to get people back to your site. And that includes the best place to really implement this. And this is one of the big gaps that most people have at the beginning is their newsletter. They take everything and write a completely separate newsletter that has nothing to do with their website and doesn't
Mhm.
send anyone back to their website. So that's the one place that you can really look. Um, and then sharing your links on your social is great, but it's not always going to get you the engagement that you want, because Facebook, I think it gives the least amount of algorithmic push with on your links. So maybe those are the posts that you want to boost and get past that algorithmic problem. Um, it's really good to really think about this, these ideas when you're organizing your strategy and figuring out what you're going to do with your
The
content.
the other thing I was going to mention too is you don't only want to necessarily collect your email addresses if you're collecting on social. Because not everybody just goes to your
Oh
social.
yeah,
People are going to
yes,
just go to your
yes,
website. So you
yes,
do want to have that stuff
totally,
also set up on your site to be
totally.
able to collect,
So when I
so that you're collecting in both places for sure.
yes, definitely. But when I'm thinking of landing pages, I'm thinking of a page on your website that is an orphan page. It doesn't have any menu items. It doesn't send you anywhere else. It's got one sort of call to action, and that's what you want people to take. But if you're not going to send people through paid traffic to that page, then definitely it should be a page on your website, and it should also collect the information that you're looking to collect, because if they find you by doing searches online when they're researching what they want to buy, if they understand that they have a problem, then you want your page to come up as an answer for sure. So definitely, that's a good point, Greg. Yeah.
So, because I come more from the website world, I tend to lean more on web being the more important piece of your marketing because it is completely under your control with the look and what you can put on and what you can do. Whereas social, you're using these platforms with what they allow you to do, but typically are in place to support and gain customers to bring them to your website. Do you feel that is still
Yeah.
the model, or do you find social is getting to a point where a business could really function
Oh, yeah.
efficiently with
Great
just
question.
social media?
Great question. So, at first glance, it would appear that you could do all of that stuff right on social. However, we did that once. Remember in the olden days, there were businesses who didn't have websites who were making thousands and thousands of dollars worth of sales purely on Facebook. And then one day the algorithm shift and none of their sales just absolutely stopped. And that's why I say use social in support of building your email list, which you own and you can send out emails from any platform, and building your organic SEO because you own your website and you want your website to rank well. And don't put all of your eggs in one social media platform because they can change the rules on you. They own that space. They can change the rules on you. They can sunset that thing. They can sunset that tool that you're using. Like I know a lot of people used. Um, I'm trying to think of that good. Bookmarks. A lot of people used bookmarks as a strategy of
Mhm.
of working with audiences on Facebook. And then one day Facebook decided no more bookmarks, no more public bookmarks, and then everything was gone, and all of the work that you put in that, and all of the effort, time, and money that you're putting into a platform, if they change the rules, just like I think it was like a lot of people were doing cocktail mixing on TikTok not that long ago during COVID, and then one day they decided that they were no longer going to push cocktail um, creators on the For You page because it's a restricted product, and that just hooped those people. It's like you
Yeah,
can't really do that.
I've seen many stories about people whose accounts got banned or the algorithms have been changed or what have you, affecting your business. So while you can actually run an effective business through social,
Yes,
it's like you said, it's risky because if something changes, you could drop with everything you're doing and
yeah,
sales that you're making because of not being in control of what's out there and
yes.
how your exposure works. So having your website and using that as the more focal spot of where you actually do your sales and show your products and services is still the best way to do it because your website is only going to go away if you get
Take
rid
it
of it
down.
or
Yeah.
if your host is
Or
down. But that's
yeah,
typically like a short-lived thing because you
yeah.
own it. You can take it somewhere else
And
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 put it back up.
and that brings us actually to hosted sites. Like if you're using Wix or Squarespace or I forgot some of the other ones, but if you're beholden to those companies also, and this is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit leery of setting up my personal store on Shopify. They if they decide to increase the pricing so that it becomes prohibitive, you've built your site on that. You can't just easily transfer that over and set it up somewhere else. You are in trouble if you do that. Like if you get so down a system that you require that system to function always in the same way, you're you know and chances are the website hosting providers are not really going to like the hosted site providers like Wix, they're and Weebly, that's the other one. um, you know, you can't. Chances are they're going to want to do what's best for your website because they want to keep you as a client. but they might not. It's like I think Pip was saying not that long ago, there are a couple of them that just kind of do weird things with their URL structures, and that means that it's harder to, it's not completely well optimized for search results. So,
Hmm.
when you own your WordPress site, um, you're in control of your URL structure, you're in control of every aspect of that site. Even if you use a template, you can change your template. You can put in custom coding on your template. Like, really, it's a matter, like, I don't know, maybe I'm a control freak, but I really don't
No,
like
I
it when
mean,
other people change the rules.
I'm completely in agreement, obviously, because I'm a WordPress guy. But it's not WordPress versus other things. It's
No.
the difference between going with a self-hosted any type of solution, because
Yeah.
there's other CMSs other than WordPress.
Yes. Yes.
It's self-hosted, self-managed versus software as a service, or like a Wix or
Yeah.
a
So
Weebly or a Shopify. It's their system. You pay to be on it, and
yeah,
if you're sort of at their whim for how things work.
that's right. So
So
it's a matter of resources. So most people who end up on Squarespace and Weebly and Wix, they're offloading front end costs because it's cheaper to do that. You can pretty much do it yourself and get up and running, and that's totally fair. A fair way to start. When you work with WordPress, you're gonna need to probably hire somebody to do that website, and then have somebody manage it for you. Yes, exactly. And so that's an upfront cost. But the nice thing about that is that if you decide you want to break up with Greg and come to Rena, it's not a problem. You don't have to start from scratch like you would if you broke up with Weebly to go to Wix, right? Or break up with Weebly to go to WordPress. So it's a matter of how you want to spend your budget. So you need to have all of the facts when you're setting yourself up. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with starting with a self-hosted site. If you've got $250 or you've got no money and some time, then that is the perfect way to get online.
yeah, so I think while it's website related, we might have gone a little bit off topic, but useful advice for everybody. But one of the things I wanted to sort of say before, I got 7 minutes left, but um, I always feel building a website should be the first thing you do for your business. However, it is easy to just get those social accounts set up and going. What's your thoughts? Should the
Yeah.
website for your business come first, and
No.
then start with your social to
No.
to promote it and get people to the site?
Yes.
Or what is your opinion on the process?
Yes, this is my favorite question because it feels counterintuitive for business owners to do this. So when a business owner is thinking of an idea, they've got their business plan organized, they're getting all hyped, and they want things to be perfect when they launch, and that's a problem. What people respond to is the behind the scenes posts on social. So, launching your site is one of the best things. But if you launch your site first and then you open up your social media accounts, you've got no one following you, and then you go, here's my website, ta da, it's all designed and pretty. There's nobody there. It's crickets, right? So, what's best, in my opinion, is build that audience up on your social media as soon as you decide you're going to start a business. Get that up. It doesn't matter if you have a logo, it doesn't matter if you're going to change your logo, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Uh, get the people there, get them in on the process. I've got these three options from the designer on my logo. Let me know what you think. And it doesn't matter if you choose what the people choose for you. They're part of the process. They will engage. That gets your algorithm going. That gets other people interested. That, you know what I mean? Get the audience activated in the spaces so that when you have your launch and your product is ready to be bought, or your service is ready to be purchased on your website, then you have an audience there. You launch your site and you go, ta-da. And then there's people going, oh, yes, that's great. I love what you did. It was so fun watching you get here. Congratulations. Right?
So
So,
for
yes,
you, I'm hearing social first,
yes,
build a site,
yes,
ramp up your social even more once the website's done,
yes,
and then lastly, continue working on the site with social and organic,
yes,
sorry,
yes,
with SEO and organic.
yes.
And then once everything's set up, I think our topic was a little bit more like how much time do you spend between either, and we haven't really gone over. But once everything's in place, how do you feel about how much time you spend doing web and
Right,
SEO versus
right.
doing your social engagement?
Right. So, Pip has gone over. Pip and Phelan have gone over this a lot when they deal with organic SEO in their segments, and definitely in the class that they run. And basically, the algorithm on Google is constantly changing. If you're putting up posts, if like what businesses like to do is continually put up posts, educate their people, make themselves into an expert that they are, with their audience member. Those things are really important. However, it's how it's done. So some people think that they need to post constantly because there are lots of people out there that are saying you need to post all the time, all the time, all the time, and it's like this frenetic thing. I need to post, I need to post. But what is equally important is actually monitoring your organic SEO, and going in and deciding that pages need to be updated with new information, trying to rank for slightly different keywords. And you get a page out there, you get a web page out there, could be a blog post, let's say, and you monitor that. You don't just put it up, put it out, attach a keyword in Yoast, and then hope for the best. You go back and you check, and you can adjust your content on your site through blog posts and through your web pages, to continually increase your ranking. And so, what I'm recommending for clients now is that, first of all, yes, get a social media plan that is congruent with your organic SEO plan, so that when you're blogging, you're actually targeting keywords that people um, really search for, and that there is potential to rank for, so that your competition is not so great that you're never going to rank for that keyword anyways, because
Mm,
Yoast is just a tool. It doesn't guarantee that anything's really going to happen. So, so what I suggest is that your monthly recurring social media package should include some organic SEO, on page and off page SEO work in addition to social, so that it's all a nice cohesive strategy that's being implemented and ongoing and in support of each other. Because I think what a lot of people do is they get one company to do the social, they get one company to do the SEO, and those companies never speak to each other, right? And
yeah.
sometimes SEO blogging, like blogging from an SEO company, is really great. I don't want to take away from any companies that are doing it well, but sometimes SEO companies are blogging only for keywords, and they're messy. You can tell right away because they don't really make much sense, or what they say they're going to tell you in the title is not actually what it delivers in the body, and you get frustrated with that. I get
Mhm.
frustrated as a reader. They're not written for people to read. And they, like when I worked with a company who had an SEO person doing blogging, and they were doing events in Vancouver. This is my best story. The blog was published in December, and it talked about events from the previous October and the
Mm,
next February. And to me, that's a useless blog post. Like, it
mhm.
doesn't actually engage your community. It gives you zero information that's useful, and it's only there to provide a ranking opportunity for organic SEO. And I don't like that. I don't think that's particularly good strategy overall. So, what I like are blog articles that are written for people that you can distribute on your social and get that good engagement. And they're also keyword organized, uh, that has proper research, not just have the on-page SEO done on the back end, but actually have it researched and then have it tracked. How's it doing? Is it doing
Mhm.
well? Can we retweak that information and redistribute it? That works nicely too.
So there you go, everyone. That's Rena's tip strategy for blogging.
Yeah.
I definitely suggest you follow it.
Thank you.
We quickly ran out of time there, but
We
do you
did.
have any final words on the subject, or?
I didn't actually remember what it was that I was trying to get to at the first our first point, but whatever it was, I hope that I got it eventually.
Yeah, I think
But
I think
yeah,
my summation of the differences or time between both are that web and SEO is a very long game.
yes,
So while you are going to spend consistent time on it, ongoing, I think you're going to probably be spending more time on social media doing more marketing campaigns and things like that monthly. So you might be spending more time on the social than the web and SEO. Both very, very important though.
yeah, we spend about 10 hours on social and 4 hours on SEO, but I think that our SEO portion could be increased a little bit. I'm thinking of pulling back a little bit on social and adding more to SEO on our packages. But yeah, definitely a 2/3 to 1/3 split would be great. And ads should always be. I cannot stress ads. I know we're not supposed to talk about ads in this, but I can't help but talk about ads anytime you talk about social or organic SEO.
Well, if it's ads on social, it's social related. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
All right. So what's happening next week, Greg? Do we know? Because I forgot to pull up the card again.
Oh, you know what? I
Let me
can
just check.
probably check super fast,
Right on.
or maybe I can't.
Oh, here, Geek Speak. Let's look it up because we have to have this. This is the part that
Why are we
advertising for
never prepared
ourselves.
for this?
Pardon?
Yes, it's what should be included in an SEO audit.
Oh, excellent. That's
Yeah,
great. So join us
I'm
back here.
assuming either Pip or Phelan will probably be part of that one.
Yeah. So join us back here. We are in the Geek Speak Marketing Mixer Facebook page. If you're watching us elsewhere, we do restream this out on different channels. So join us in the group if you'd like to. And we will see you next week. Have a great week.
Thanks for watching.